is Calabooks with Think Future. So I'm going to tell you a little story about something that happened a while back. So there was this guy interviewed on the Today Show who had decided to stop showering. That's right, folks. He decided to stop showering. And instead of showering, he came up, he's a scientist, he came up with this biological spray, bacteria-laden spray, that he would spray on himself every day. So instead of going into the shower and washing himself off, he would take this spray bottle that he created and he would spray himself from head to toe with this. And this stuff he sprayed himself with was full of a bacteria that basically ate dirt, ate grime, right? So it was a way of washing without having to use a lot of water. Now in places like California where there's droughts and we have to concern ourselves with water shortages, I mean, you'd think this was a good thing, right? You think this was a good thing. So they reported this on the Today Show, and they reported it for disgust. They basically said, oh my God, isn't that horrible? This guy hasn't showered in 12 years. How awful is that? People were upset about it. A lot of people were upset about it. They asked people, they said, would you like to work beside this guy? And they go, absolutely no way. I wouldn't like to work beside this guy. But maybe, has everybody actually ever gone up to him and sniffed him or stood nearby him to see how bad he smelled? And the reality is that people who do work with him said, well, he doesn't smell that bad at all. And in fact, he was thinking about adding bacteria that would replace that other bacteria to, give himself a fresher scent so he could actually spray on this fresh scent. Now, if you ask me, this is a godsend to those countries and those places that have droughts. I mean, how are you going to stay clean without so much water? So, but normal people hear this and they go, oh my God, that's horrible. I would never want to do that. But I got to tell you, folks, that isn't our future. Our future is spraying ourselves down with some bacteria-destroying spray, and that's the shower. That's the shower of the future. Now, we may not need to do that because we may be able to figure out how to recycle water better and be more effective with this kind of stuff. Because if you think about it, our systems have grown from systems that have been around for hundreds of years. We really need to, if we could apply more intelligent thinking to our water systems, to our power systems, to our gas systems, to all the systems that we have that help us sort of live in this modern civilized culture, then I'm sure that could get rid of a ton of waste that we're doing right now. We're wasting so much water, we're wasting so much electricity, we're wasting so much power. It's ridiculous how much we waste nowadays because of the homes that we live in and the places that we live in and the buildings that we live in and the cities that we live in. There's so much waste all over the place. So I'm sure if we just worked on that, we could save a ton of stuff, a ton. But like I said, it's like we might be getting to a point where it's kind of like battery power, right? I mean, batteries need to get more efficient, and at the same time, the laptops themselves need to work with less battery power. And they get to a certain point where battery power will be amazing, and the thing that's actually using up the battery power will be hardly anything. So we need to work both angles to get to the zero waste side. So since we need to work both angles to get to the zero waste side, we need to continue to be developing this magic spray that we can spray on ourselves and use that instead of showering. I mean, think of it this way. What about people who are homeless, who are looking to get a job? Maybe they could use the spray to spruce themselves up before they actually go looking for work. I don't know. I'm just saying that your initial reaction of disgust for this particular product tells me that it's innovative, that it's disruptive, that it's something that people are a little bit thinking that's a little creepy, right? It's a little creepy. The reality is that when you're trying to innovate, what you're trying to do is you're trying to break the status quo, or at least bend the status quo a little bit. Because everybody thinks about their day. They go, I got to get in the shower, I got to clean myself off, I got to use a lot of soap, and then boom, you're done, right? And then you're clean. And if I'm not going to be clean unless I shower. But that's old ways of thinking. That's pre-drought ways of thinking. Wouldn't it be great if you could just spray this stuff on yourself and then you'd be instantly clean? But that's what I'm saying, is that it requires a mind shift. It requires a bending of the status quo. It requires a whole new way of thinking. And if you get upset by this thinking, if the thinking kind of bothers you a little bit, if the thinking kind of makes you think, I wouldn't want to do that, it sounds horrible, then you're probably onto something disruptive. You're probably onto something innovative. You're probably onto something interesting, right? So that's what you should kind of strive for when you're looking to build disruptive innovation. Disruptive innovation purposely upsets the apple cart, purposely upsets people, purposely bends or breaks the status quo. And when you purposely bend or break the status quo and then people start getting antsy about it, then you know you're getting close to the target. You know you're getting close to building something that's innovative and disruptive and maybe is an amazing next step in expanding humanity's happiness. Who knows? But whenever you get that pushback, whenever you get that feeling that, oh, this is creepy or this is gross or this is disgusting or whatever, it's entirely possible that you might be over the target when it comes to developing disruptive innovation.